understand this with your fucking liberal brain? Stop touching law enforcement. Stop interfering with their work. Are you able to understand it? Are you able actually to comprehend? Stay away. Mind your own business.
Are you happy now? Are you happy that another U.S. citizen has been killed by ICE? This is all I've been hearing in my comment section. They also state that you MAGAs, you are the one who voted for this. Honey, we voted for accountability, and that's what they got. And now let's talk about Alex and Renee. Alex and Renee both were convinced by the left politician that ICE was bad, that Trump was bad, that any law enforcement was pretty bad, and what they were doing is for the greater good of humanity. But guess what? They weren't. See, Alex and Renee were part of groups that were either paid or they volunteered themselves to do a few things. 1, follow ICE around. 2, obstruct justice. Or 3, be agitators. Both Alex and Renee would still be alive had they not participated in any of these groups. Now let's make one thing clear. When you show up and protest using your vehicle as a weapon, or you show up with a gun that has 30 to 50 bullets ready to go, I'd say the likelihood of you getting killed by ICE is pretty good.
You cannot impede ICE. You cannot impede any federal officer, which saying that as if it's an announcement, a proclamation, is also crazy. Because if I told you, hey, listen, you cannot get in a cop's way while they're doing their job, you would say, no kidding. Right. That's not actually that complicated of a concept. But the fact that we have we have mayors, we have governors, we have local leaders encouraging that and still having it's like they're trying to gaslight us, right? They're trying to gaslight us, saying they're just protesting. The Governor Walz yesterday finally said he only wanted peaceful protests. After weeks and weeks of encouraging protesters, really rioters, to do exactly what they're doing, to call 911 when they see an ICE officer. Imagine if you, in your community, if 911 was used to call and declare an emergency because there was a federal officer doing their job. That's what the leadership is doing in Minnesota.
You want to protest ICE? Go right ahead. Do it peacefully. If you don't like the immigration laws, contact your representatives and get the laws changed. But just remember, the law that Trump's using is a Democratic law.
Are you sick because you have a mask on? Are you sick or anything?
No, but I work in healthcare, so I got to protect myself from getting ill if I'm working around others, so.
Okay. Do you support ICE agents covering their face?
No, I do not.
Okay. Why not?
If they're legitimately law enforcement officers, you'll notice that the Phoenix PD doesn't cover their face. So why do they have to cover theirs?
Yeah, so they're not ICE agents.
Oh, so there's a difference.
There is a difference, yeah. So ICE agents and ICE officers are under different jurisdiction and different ways of doing things than local police.
They didn't used to wear masks, so why do they wear masks now?
That's a good question, because assaults and violence against them has gone up 1,000%. They wear the face mask. Some of them. Why is violence going up against them?
Yeah.
Because I think leftists lie about what they're doing, and they want to hurt them, and they want to hurt their families, and they're shooting at them.
Do you see any leftists out here hurting anyone?
Yeah. You are a leftist, right?
I would certainly be identified as somebody on the left.
So you're covering your face to hide your identity, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Why are you hiding your face?
I'm protecting my face because I work in healthcare.
Yeah. So what's the correlation? You don't want to be doxxed, do you?
So you're telling me they just love the Cupids.
No comment.
Right? Isn't that it? That's what ICE agents are doing. They don't want to be doxxed, just like you don't want to be doxxed. So he can cover his face to protect his identity. He's not getting shot at. He's not.
Listen, it is a terrible thing when anyone loses their life. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, black, white, Latino, because souls are either going to heaven or hell. And it's a terrible thing to see families being separated and all of this stuff. But my problem is with the media, because there's something so much darker and evil that is going on. Watch this. Notice that the media and politicians were not encouraging people to go out and protest and riot over all of these people who lost their lives to illegal immigrants. Also notice how people are taking these two people who lost their life, right, trying to impede ICE and saying, look, all of ICE is evil. What they're doing is wicked. But there are more victims of illegal immigrants than there are of ICE. So by their own logic, then all illegal immigrants should be viewed as evil because we have multiple victims. And of course, we know that's stupid. That's a dumb thing to do, to make an overgeneralization. But the reason they do that is because they listen to the media. So the media is not saying, hey, protest about these victims, but they tell you to go protest and be against ICE, number one, because of spirit of lawlessness, but number two, because they have their own agenda. That's why when Obama was doing what Trump was doing and talking like Trump was talking about illegal immigrants, and he went out there and he deported more people, and he was known as the deporter in chief, and he was the one that built the cages. Remember when you guys were using the pictures and saying Trump got kids in cages, but it was pictures from the Obama administration? That's the problem that I have, is the double standard and the ignorance. CNN was literally going on ride-alongs 3 o'clock in the morning with ICE, documenting as they were trying to intercept people that were on their way to work. And guess what? You didn't know about it, and you didn't care about it because the media didn't demonize it. And you said, well, nobody was dying in the streets. Yes, because the media hadn't gashed out up to go out there and protest against what Obama was doing, even though he did it on a larger level. And that kind of ignorance is dangerous, because this is so much bigger than white versus black and racism and Republican versus Democrat. If you look at the rest of the world and you look at the woke policies, okay, that have happened in the UK, that is why France is overrun the way that it is. That's why a lot of countries in the UK look the way that they do. And then you have Muslims saying, yeah, keep having these weak woke border policies and just letting anybody in. We're going to take advantage of that. Keep pushing abortions, keep pushing LGBTQ, keep pushing the feminist agenda, because they know it's weakening America. And so the bigger picture that many of you guys cannot see while you demonize ICE is there's something that's coming because of these woke policies, and we see it all over the world. It's not racism to have a process. You guys are voting for lawlessness. You are voting for the Antichrist stuff. And like I said, if you didn't hear it the first time, you have two victims who unfortunately lost their lives, who wouldn't have lost their lives if they had been at home. But if you're going to demonize the whole group and what's going on and ignore these cases, it shows that you're a hypocrite. I better wake up and ask God about the bigger picture of what's going on, because they're going to call good evil and evil good, and something is coming to America that y'all are not ready for.
So I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order. Not here, not in the state of Florida. So, to make it real simple, if you don't want to have any of those things happen to you, obey the law. Go protest all you want. Do it peacefully. Stand on the mountaintops and yell your opinion, your views. We invite that. But don't you dare break the law, because it won't go well for you.
Let me make this clear. Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed, and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them.
It looked to us from every angle, sir, that he was approached by them when he was helping another individual who was pushed down. What evidence do you have that he was assaulting any law enforcement?
Dana, we don't need a suspect's help in an active law enforcement scene.
When you say suspect, what is he suspected of?
That's an active law enforcement scene. He knew that was an active law enforcement scene, especially when the officers approached him, and it's very evident he did not need to be where he was.
When somebody is pushed down and a person's instinct is to help that person, when somebody's pushed down by law enforcement, you're saying that you just stand back and let law enforcement do what they're doing?
You know, Dana, every situation is different. What our officers are faced with here in Minneapolis are chaotic, very difficult and violent situations in which individuals, and this suspect is not the only one to bring a loaded weapon to a riot. The situations are chaotic and ever-changing. Follow directions for law enforcement. Don't inject yourself knowingly beforehand into a law enforcement situation.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents. The victim are the Border Patrol agents. The suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
I just want to also go back to what I was asking about with regard to what Secretary Noem said, that he was brandishing a gun. At any point, do you have any evidence that, yes, he had a gun on his person? Was he brandishing it?
We heard the law enforcement officer say gun, gun, gun. So at some point, they knew there was a gun. So again, that is going to be part of that investigation as to what was happening on the ground there between those victims, the Border Patrol agent victims, and the suspect.
Get the hell out of my office. No. Right now. You can't do this. I don't care about you filming. Like I told you, I'm not seeing you. I am not. Take that ridiculous hat off if you want to be seen by me. Keep recording, baby. Keep recording. I don't care about her recording. I'm telling you. What's insane is you coming in my office. I have the right not to see you. The right? Yes. Read the laws that just passed, honey. Take the ridiculous hat off if you want me to see you. No. Okay, well, he can be sick. He can stay sick. He can remain sick. You in that recording can get the hell out too.
You do not talk to my wife like that.
Sit down. Who you think you is? That you think that you got that head on? You somebody? I'm somebody. You need me. I don't need you. I don't need you.
If you put your hands on me, that's a lawsuit.
No,
that's a lawsuit. You can see me when I come in here. I got insurance. I'll pay for my insurance. And you go see me. Or you go and get someone else and tell them to come and see me.
Let's get this clear. You want me to touch on you when you want me to touch on you. You want me to see you, don't you? I'm going to have to touch you then, right? Answer that. You want me to see you? You want me to touch you? You want me to work on you? I work on who I want to work on. And right now, after this long-term path, I don't have to see nobody and refuse them service.
Then how about you go clock out? How about you go clock out? You chose this job. You chose this job.
I'm the doctor. I don't do no clocking out. People like y'all clock out. What you can do is clock out my office.
You see those roads out there that you drive and you can work with? I'll make them roads. I'll build them roads. I'll put my time in.
Kudos for you. Get the hell out of my office.
You know what?
Get out my office.
We're not dealing
you
with this.
And your recording. Get out my office.
This is going straight.
Matter of fact, stop filming me. Stop filming me.
You don't.
I'm telling you, folks, they're trying to demonize ICE. We work with them hand in glove every day. They are wonderful, dedicated, hardworking law enforcement officers, and they're not getting crap thrown at them in the state of Florida. They're not ginning up people that are not happy in the state of Florida because we're not putting them in that position in the state of Florida. And this same environment could be in every one of those states if the state had cooperated. But instead, you've elected a bunch of people there, governors, primarily, House and Senate members, mayors, city commissioners, county commissioners, that said, hey, we're going to let these criminals that are here illegally committing crime against the people of the state of California or Minnesota or wherever, we're going to allow them to come back out into the community and commit more crime against you rather than turn them over to our federal partners. That's why you're seeing all this scrum all over the nation.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
To all of you liberal, stupid sons of bitches, let me ask you a question. What on earth makes you think that ICE, acting on the will of the majority of the American people, is somehow racist? You can't even differentiate between a man and a woman. Now all of a sudden, you're some fucking master at constitutional law? Shut the fuck up. You want to be treated like civilized human beings, yet run around the streets acting like rabid fucking banshee dogs. You don't even know what you want. You have no idea what you are doing. The only thing that you're doing is exactly what you are told to do. Nothing more, nothing less. And the same stupid sons of bitches that told you that ICE is acting in an inhumane fashion are the same stupid sons of bitches that let your family die alone a few years back. Do you remember that? Of course you don't. Wake up and smell the sodomy. Them Democrats do not give a shit about you. Hell, you don't even give a shit about you. So go out there in the streets and act like a dumb son of a bitch if you want to, but don't you play victim when you wind up on a t-shirt. Hell, you don't be doing much of anything, I reckon.
Recently, as the last 2 weeks, we, as law enforcement community, have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from U.S. citizens. What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally. As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaints as they fell victim to this while off duty. Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them. In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, preventing her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction. And after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left. I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident. In fact, many of the chiefs standing behind me have similar incidents with their off-duty officers. This isn't just important because it happened to off-duty police officers, but what it did do is we know that our officers know what the Constitution is, they know what right and wrong is, and they know when people are being targeted, and that's what they were. If it is happening to our officers, it pains me to think of how many of our community members are falling victim to this every day.
These people are coming over here defending fucking illegals better than they defend America. Do you have a job? Do you work?
Yup, that's me. If you're wondering, what the heck is going on here? Well, it's simple. Some of these protesters, they don't know what the fuck they protest.
I've been hella cool with this ignorant motherfucker, and he don't want to fucking answer questions after he told me, come over here and have a conversation. So now I'm coming over here, and he want to act fucking ignorant. This is the problem. This is the fucking problem with these people. They do not know are they protesting. These people are coming over here defending fucking illegals better than they defend America. Exactly, don't talk. Because y'all don't know what y'all doing here. That's the problem. Y'all don't know what y'all doing here. Y'all, nobody want to come to the mic and talk. Y'all don't know.
Now, shout out to Mr. or Mrs. Sticky Fingers over here for getting in the way with them dirty ass fingernails looking like you was just digging in your ass. Yeah, nasty.
Ugh, nasty bitch. All y'all do is just talk and blame and nobody talk to me. So let's talk. How exactly? That's the problem. You see? That's the problem with these people. Because you're not here doing nothing. Do you have a job? Do you work? Am I paying your fucking taxes? So I'm trying to know you. And you don't want to talk.
So get the fuck away from me.
Look, listen. I said this was a cold-blood murder, right? When I was under the impression that this guy right here, an American citizen, was just standing there filming ICE, minding his business, right? And they got into an altercation and it led to gunfire and he got unalived. Yeah, clearly, that's a cold-blood murder. But when the facts came out that this guy right here, he left his house to go peacefully protest, his parents prior to that told him, do not go do that. But if you're going to go, do not get caught in no dumb shit. Right? A week before this, Renee Good get unalived by ICE. Right? You leave your house with a 9mm, 2 clips on you, everything fully loaded, no identification. Going to peacefully protest. You are there filming ICE and then ICE maces somebody or whatever and you get yourself involved. Now it's a physical altercation. Not one time in this physical altercation, knowing you don't have no ID on you, you don't go, hey. My name is Alex Pretty. I'm armed, but I'm licensed, but I don't have my ID on me. Yo. You proceed to tussle with ICE, and then that plays out. What else am I going to say? You're not the innocent guy I thought you was, just standing there minding your business filming, and they unalived you for filming them. In America, when you getting arrested for breaking the law, no Americans intervene, stop police from locking you up for breaking the law, because they know that's against the law.
Yesterday in Minneapolis, federal immigration agents killed another American citizen in broad daylight. His name was Alex Pretty. He was 37 years old. He was an ICU nurse. Kristi Noem has referred to these peaceful protesters as domestic terrorists and lied about the shooting victims being the aggressors. She has shown a profound disregard for human life. Kristi Noem has forfeited her right to lead, and I'm calling on her to resign as Secretary of Homeland Security, or Donald Trump to do the right thing and just fire her. And if not, she must be removed or impeached. And Gregory Bovino, who has helped lead and defend and escalate these operations, should also be fired.